Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. Guys, today we are getting informational on you guys. Well, okay, maybe we're not, but here we go. So I just got an email from someone asking what were my thoughts on the gig strikes. And obviously this is a new subscriber because if you go back about 3 months, we got pretty deep in on the anti-strike stuff. You know, I'm not the biggest fan of going on strike, especially as an independent contractor, which I think doesn't make any sense. Employees go on strike, independent contractors do not. So we're just gonna repeat some of this information. I wrote down a lot of stuff on reasons why I think it doesn't work. So I'm gonna give you guys at least the top 3 reasons why it does not work to go on strike as an independent contractor, gig driver, Instacart person. It doesn't matter. If you're an independent contractor, your leverage is not very high. And let's talk about why. So I wrote down, look, I actually sat down, wrote some stuff down. I'm not just going off the top of your head, guys. We're upgrading. We're going off of a list that I wrote down. Anyways, let's see. For number 1, the first one is just you're an independent contractor. The definition of an independent contractor is someone who just gets gigs and you either accept them or you don't. If it's just a gig, it's like, hey, do you want to help me move for $50? It's as simple as that. There is, of course, dashing terms and all these things that they expect you to do. They expect you to drop off at a certain time, all that. But it's basically like, hey, do you want to drop off this food order? Like, it's as simple as Doordash being like, hey, do you want to drop off this food order for $5? No? All right, cool. Hey, Johnny, do you want to drop it off for $5? No? Okay, we'll go to Carlos over here. Hey, Carlos, $5.25, you want to do it? He's like, hell yeah, let's do it. You know, like, that's a simple, that's literally what Doordash is. They just go through the line of people, and then eventually they'll raise the price just a little bit, you know, they'll raise the price just a little bit until someone eventually accepts it. And that is literally how the Doordash algorithm works, you know, like, it's just a reality. Others are going to do it. Someone's eventually going to do it. And that's the problem with being an independent contractor and a gig driver. Like, there's no qualifications for this job. Let's be real. You could be 16 years old, still in high school, and do this job phenomenal. All you gotta do is accept a job, drive to the restaurant, pick it up, drop it off. All you need to do is have a license. Let's be honest, you can get good and better at selective gambling, basically, is what I call it, like picking out orders and seeing what's beneficial for you, and you can get better at it for yourself. But the ceiling for this job, as someone who's going to do the job better and add more value to Doordash, unfortunately, it's the people that accept all the jobs anyways. That's the real value, you know. So if you're a cherry picker like me or something, Doordash is like, hey, we don't really need you, to be honest. We got these top dashers that are going to take anything, you know. And that's the reality of a gig job, you know. It is a gig job. You don't have to you don't have to take the gigs, you know. It's not like you're an employee and you're forced to do it. You're not paid by the hour. It's like, hey, do you want to do it or not? So really what you need to do is just make dashing as convenient as possible, in my opinion. But literally from Doordash's perspective or Instacart, it's like you want to be paid more for a job that literally anyone can do? Like, what are you really arguing over here? Like, if you think you're more valuable than it, I know this is probably a little rude to some people that are about to go on Instacart strike and stuff, but let's be honest. If you're sitting here arguing over a job that literally anyone can do, I think you really need to reevaluate some of your choices in life, because you should be, I personally just think that as a human, you should be striving to add value to the world, have value, feel like you're doing something, bettering your life, advancing yourself. But if you're doing an entry-level job and then you're arguing that you should get paid more for an entry-level job that requires little to no skills, there might be some reevaluation that you should do. And that's I'm sorry that sounds a little rude, but it's you got to move up the ladder at some point, you know? Maybe if you're like 21 years old and this is like your first job or something like that, and you've been doing it since the pandemic started, maybe I can see a point to that. But if you're like, I hate to say it, but I feel like if you're older or something, you got to move on. You got to be like Instacart and Doordash. They're great transitionary jobs, or like a job that you can fall back on and like make money while you're between jobs or something, but it's not something you do as a career. There's no like end goal to this. I've said it a million times, but there's no giant pot of gold at the end of the tunnel when you've completed 1,000 deliveries or something, you know, except for a rundown car and a big tax bill that you're going to pay if you don't know how to do your taxes, you know, like got to write stuff off. And like, I would say it's good for like people who want to eventually learn how to run a business or something. You can kind of see the ins and outs of business and stuff without actually having to run your own business, learn taxes and all that stuff. But it's definitely an entry-level job. And like, let's be honest, there's no human connection between this job. It's not like when, for example, the teachers go on strike or something. Like, they know the people that they're striking against, like personally, on a personal level, you know. It's not like DoorDash looks and like Tony Zhu's not seeing on TV. And it's like, oh, there's Carlos, our Dasher, and Johnny, the Dasher, and like those guys really work for us. You know, like literally, we are numbers to them. As unfortunate as that sounds, not a single person at corporate knows a single person who's dashing. That might be a little overboard, but I really doubt that they have any idea who any of these people are. You are literally just numbers. And like, that needs to sit in with people. Like, this is not the job where you complain about, I need more or something, I should be paid more fairly, I should get more or something. This is the job where you do it when it's convenient. If you can make the most out of it, great. It's not a job that you should be really striving to move up the ladder in, because there isn't a ladder to move up in unless you're a top dasher. I don't know. I just don't see why people are arguing to go on strike. It doesn't make any sense to me. I try to see it from both sides, but it's like, you have to have leverage. If you're negotiating anything, you have to have leverage. What's your leverage? Oh, 1,000 people are gonna not work this day? That's not a good strike. That's not gonna work, you know? They're like, okay, well, more for the top dashers that we're gonna work that day anyways, you know? That's just reality, you know? Like, there's so many people that can do this job. There's so many people that will do this job. If they need people to log in, all they do is send out these little plus $3 in your area notifications. Whenever I get those, I'm like, shit, I might start doing some DoorDash right now, no matter what time it is. I'm like, $5 minimums. That means I'm probably gonna be getting paid $8 to $10 at least on every single delivery. Usually that gets me going, you know? Anyways, I just don't see any point to these strikes. Thought it was an interesting question, but I've answered these quite a bit of times before. It's just like, this is what I wrote down. This is a transitionary job. Life is about having options. You can always go to the best option you have if it's available as an option, meaning your whole goal in career and business and everything should be to have multiple options. Because if you don't, then you're stuck. Like, you have all your eggs in one basket. If that basket breaks, you are screwed, you know? You want to have multiple options. Whether it's other gig platforms, whether it's a side hustle, whether it's a YouTube channel, whatever it is, you don't want to have all your eggs in one basket. Trust me, I've learned that one. You got to utilize your gigs and leverage them to make the most out of what they are. You are backtracking in life the longer you rely on this gig driving, because the older you get, the less opportunities you will get. Like, opportunities happen all the time for young people, you know? The older you get, the harder it is to create opportunities, the more settled in you get with life. Like, let's just be honest, we get comfortable the older we get in life. There's less like drive you're gonna have to start a business when you're 35 years old than when you were 25 years old. Maybe not. It's just my opinion. But the older you get, like, you should be trying to do this job the least amount possible. Let's be real. And you should try to, like, make that bag and move on, you know, like utilize it for what it is. That this is capitalism at its finest, you know. If you see, like, it's not a great opportunity, so move on to the better ones, you know. Like, why would you strike for a shit job with no benefits, no end goal, no knowledge involved in this job, you know? You don't really need any kind of knowledge. There's no end goal. It's not like, I don't know, I don't feel great at the end of the day, like, man, I freaking got some people, their fast food that's gonna give them diseases and freaking, like, kill them eventually, you know? Like, you don't feel good about delivering shit food to people. It's not like a very rewarding job, in my opinion. You can make a very rewarding job. Like last night, I had a very, very great dash. I listened to an entire book from front to back. It was a 3-hour long audiobook. It was a great dash, you know? If you're utilizing it to that point, I think it's a great job. But it's not, especially if you're just sitting there like listening to music and bumping around, and then at the end of the day you just delivered 10 McDonald's orders. Like, I don't think you don't feel very rewarded at the end of the day. Like, anyone can do it. It's not a job you want to be really striking on or you should be spending your time more wisely. In my opinion, I think rather than going on strike, you could be looking on Craigslist for another gig or something like that, you know? Like, life is all about, you have 24 hours in a day. Everyone does. If you spend 4 of those going on strike for a job that you probably shouldn't be doing anyways, what are you doing here, you know? Anyways, that's all I really got for you guys. I just was like, kind of just want to voice my opinion. I'm very big on not complaining in life. There's nothing I hate more than complainers. So, like, take advantage of the opportunities you're given and do the most with them. Don't complain about the opportunities you're given, because those that complain don't achieve the same kind of goals that people that take ownership of the position you're in. You are in this position because you put yourself here. So put yourself in a better position. That's all I gotta say. Take your time, put yourself in a better position. Don't complain about the position that you're in. Like, own it. I own every mistake that I make, even if it's little mistakes that some people would say are out of their control. I say it's all in my control. I could have fixed that problem no matter what it is. You know, if our factory screws up something and it was like, well, we did everything, you know, I'm like, I should have leveraged another factory, or like made more samples and gone to different places, you know. Anyways, own everything. Anyways, some people are gonna be mad at this video, some people are gonna appreciate this video. I'm just being honest, telling you guys how I feel. So take it with a grain of salt, whatever I say. I'm not right. I'm just giving you guys my opinion, so don't be mad at me. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. We will see you guys in the next one. Subscribe, smash that like button. Go to my footwear company, offaccessathletics.com. Use discount code OFFACCESS10 for 30% off. I'm getting really good at saying that. Anyways, we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.